Hello. I see it's just me here, so I'm just going to wait a little bit more time before we get underway. And we'll just wait a little bit longer. But for those who are watching this as a recording, today we're going to continue talking about hockey. So last week we started talking about the legendary Canadian story, The Hockey Sweater, by French Canadian author Roch Carrier. The book was published in 1979, and it's a true story based on his childhood. So, we'll talk a little bit more about that book, but also just about hockey in general. We'll look at some hockey vocabulary words, and we'll go from there. This is definitely a subject I'm quite passionate about. I love hockey. Okay. We'll get started very shortly, very soon. Very soon. And I have an exciting thing to share, which builds upon what I said last week. Okay. Okay. So, thank you for joining today. We are here to talk about some intermediate level English. My name is Tim, and I'm here to teach you today. Can you please tell me, what is your name? Awesome. And how old are you? Perfect. Awesome. And can you tell me, what is today's date? Very good. Today is October 22nd, 2025. October 22nd, 2025. And can you tell me what day of the week it is? Very good. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. We are in the middle of the week. So, what month is it? Very good. We are in the month of October. We are in the month of October. How many months are there in one year? Perfect. In 1 year, we have 12 months. There are 12 months in 1 year. Now, a bit of a tricky question. Does anyone know how many days there are in 1 year? Right? So the year right now, the year is 2025. How many days are there in 2025? There are 365 days in 1 year. 365. That's 365. 365. 365. One little exception, unless it's a leap year. So once every 4 years, there's an extra day. So once every 4 years, there are 366 days. So last year, 2024, that was a leap year. Last year, we had 366 days. So remind me again, what month is it? Very good. We are in October. And what season is October in? What season is October in? Yes. October is in the heart of fall. The heart of fall, it's like saying it's in the middle of fall. So the season is fall, but you can also call it autumn. In North America, we mostly say fall, but in Europe, so in British English, you would say autumn. But here in Canada, we say fall. Okay, and speaking of fall, and speaking of October, October and fall is the beginning of hockey season, which is where our lesson begins today, talking about hockey. So, as we talked about last week, we talked about the hockey sweater. So, I'm going to begin by sharing my screen here, and we'll talk a little bit more about hockey vocabulary. Some important words to know. Perfect. So, here, this word right here, this word is puck. Can you say puck? Very good. A puck is what we play with, right? So for other sports, you play with a ball, right? For uh, soccer, you kick a ball. Basketball, you bounce a ball. Baseball, you throw and you hit a ball. Tennis, you hit a ball. Golf, you hit a ball. But in hockey, we use a puck. A puck. And what color is this puck? This color right here. Very good. Yes, pucks are pretty well always black. Pucks are black. So this is a puck. And this leads us to our next word, because the object of the game in hockey is to shoot the puck in the net. This right here is a net. Can you say net? Very good. This is a puck and this is a net. These right here, so you see this red outline? This is metal, and this is a post. This is a post, and this is a post. So one post, two posts, right? So there are two posts because it is plural. We have one post and two posts. This is the post. These are the posts. So one post, this is the post. Two posts, these are the posts. And we also have this right here. This thing that connects the posts is called the crossbar. The crossbar. But all of it makes up the net. Awesome. And moving on, this is a very important word. This is called a stick. Can you say stick? Very good. Every single player has a stick in his hands, and you need the stick to shoot the puck. Now, a stick, it's a short word because this is actually called a hockey stick, right? The sport is called hockey, and the thing you play with is called a hockey stick. But you can just say stick for short. This word right here is rink. Can you say rink? Very good. And this is where we play hockey. This right here, this picture, this is an indoor rink. And that means that the rink is inside a building. This is an indoor rink or maybe an arena. But in the hockey sweater, they play outside. So you can call it an outdoor rink. Although I think a lot of them were playing on frozen ponds. So a pond is a small little body of water. And in the winter, when it gets really cold, it freezes. And then when it freezes, you can skate on it, right? You put on your skates and you skate. And I said you put on your skates, plural, because there are two of them, one for each foot. You have one skate, two skates, right? So that word is rink. Our next word is team. Can you say team? Very good. Team. So a hockey game, which is our next word, game. A hockey game is played between two teams, right? You hear the S, teams, plural. You have one team and two teams. You have one team here and one team here. And in a hockey game, those two teams will play each other. One hockey team plays the other hockey team. And whoever can shoot the puck into the net the most times will win the game, right? So if my team shoots the puck into the net 3 times, but your team only shoots the puck into the net 1 time, then my team wins. Another good word to know: when you shoot the puck into the net, it's called scoring a goal. So I can also say, if my team scores 3 times and your team scores once, then the team that scored 3 goals wins the game. Now, we look at all of our vocabulary words. We notice how some of the words are one color, other words are different colors. We have blue letters and we have red letters. These blue letters, do we know what these blue letters are? All these blue letters belong to one group, right? We have our A, E, I, and we have U. These are called vowels. We are also missing a vowel. Do we know which vowel we are missing? Awesome. We're missing an O. O is also a vowel. And sometimes Y is a vowel. For example, when you have a word that has a Y, and if the Y makes an E sound, then it's a vowel. For example, hockey. Hockey ends in a Y. Hockey. So the Y is a vowel. My name is Tim, but my government name is Timothy. Timothy ends in a Y. So the Y is a vowel. But sometimes a Y makes a Y sound, like yo-yo, or yak, or yuck. So in words like yo-yo, yak, and yuck, the Y is not a vowel. The Y is a consonant. And that's what all these red letters are. These red letters are called consonants. Okay, so now let's look at a nice picture of some street hockey. So here, Montreal Street. We see the pretty stairs, the narrow streets, the cars all lining the road. This is classic Montreal. So these players are playing hockey in the street. So they are not playing in a rink. And see, look at their feet. Are these players wearing skates? No. No, these players are not wearing skates because they are not playing on ice, playing in a rink. They're not playing on a frozen pond. They're playing on the road, on the street. They're just wearing their normal boots, their normal shoes. And let's take a look at this picture. What season do you think these players are playing in? What season is it? Is this picture depicting fall? Is the season fall here? No. Very good. This is winter. Hockey in winter. We know because we can see all the snow. Look at the snow on the staircase. We see snow at the bottom of the staircase. We see a little bit of snow here around the pole, a little bit of snow around the car. And look at these players. Look, they're all wearing toques on their head because it's cold. So, we got 2 teams playing hockey, right? See, we have all these guys wearing red. The red sweaters are playing on one team, and the players in blue sweaters are on a different team. Oh, and what is this called? Do we remember what this is called? It's not a ball. Yes, very good. It's called a puck. And what is this in his hands? All the players have, yes, they are all holding a stick. They all have sticks in their hands. And so we remember the story, the hockey sweater. Carrier, his favorite team was the Montreal Canadiens. These players wearing the red sweaters, this is to depict the Montreal Canadiens. And we even have Maurice Richard's famous number right here. Yes, this is number 9. As Carrier told us in his story, they were 5 Maurice Richards against 5 other Maurice Richards. They're all wearing the famous number 9 on their back. And this blue jersey, or the blue sweater, this is to depict the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs, which are the biggest rival. They were the biggest rival back then and now. So, as I said last week, we were going to read the story, The Hockey Sweater, but I decided we're going to read it next week because by then I will actually have the book in front of me. So I'll be able to read the book and I'll be able to show the pictures. So it'd be a bit better for us to wait next week. So that's what we're going to do. We'll read the book together next week. But as I said before, the hockey sweater is a very, very famous Canadian story. It's about hockey, which is very, very important to people in Canada. And it's also a story that highlights French and English in Canada, which is important because Canada is an officially bilingual country. And last week, I talked about how on the old $5 bill, there was an excerpt from the hockey sweater on the $5 bill. So an excerpt means a bit of text, a part of the story that was taken from the story and put on the bill. So that's an excerpt. And I actually have one of those $5 bills with me. I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll show you this $5 bill. Look at this. This is an old $5 bill. So this was the $5 bill that Canada printed from 2002 to 2013. And right here, right here we have the excerpt. First in its original French and underneath in English. You see, this is the Winter Sports Canadian $5 bill. These players right here are playing hockey. They're playing hockey on a frozen pond. And these players right here are these people are just skating. They're skating on the ice, but they're not playing hockey. How do we know that these people are playing hockey, but yet these people are just skating? How do we know? Very good. We know because of what these players, what they have in their hands. Hockey sticks. Do we see any hockey sticks in their hands? No, no hockey sticks. They're just skating. And then this guy right here, this guy is on a toboggan. He's tobogganing or sledding. Okay, and now I will read the excerpt that I've been talking about here, right? So it's in French and it's in English. In English, it says, "The winters of my childhood were long, long seasons. We lived in three places: the school, the church, and the skating rink. But our real lives were on the skating rink. But our real life was on the skating rink. Singular, actually, not plural. But our real life was on the skating rink." So, pretty cool find. That's a $5 bill. And as we see here, hockey is so important to Canada that we even put it on our money because hockey is a Canadian game. It was invented here in Canada. So, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you learned a little bit more vocabulary specific to hockey. Maybe you also learned a little bit about vowels and consonants. And if I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. And next week, we will actually read the hockey sweater as I will have the book with me and we'll look at all the illustrations. So until then, goodbye. Take care. See you next time.